Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial secrets that big companies try to keep under wraps. Today, we're diving into a filing from Unisys Corporation, and let me tell you, it is less about a financial hurricane and more about tidying up the paperwork. So what is the big deal with this report? Well, sometimes companies have to file just to fix a mistake or update their rulebook. And that is what Unisys is doing here. It is not a flashy earnings report, but it tells us a bit about how they're managing their company structure and legal documents. Unisys is a company that provides its services and technology. Think of them as the folks who help other businesses manage their complex computer systems and digital operations. They've been around for a while, working with clients across various industries. This report is a Form 8K, which companies file when something significant happens that shareholders should know about right away. It is not like their regular quarterly or yearly reports, which go into deep financial detail. This is more for specific events. The really relevant date here is the 25th of November, 2025. That is when the main events discussed in this filing occurred. The first key point is about changes to their internal rules, called bylaws. The company's board of directors decided to get rid of an old rule that said an officer, like a top executive, had to retire when they turned 65. Now, it seems they can stay on longer if they're performing well and the company wants them to. This is a pretty common adjustment for companies that want to keep experienced leaders around. They also made sure these bylaws match their main company charter, which is like the company's constitution. Then, there is a bit of a housekeeping item. It turns out that an earlier version of their main company document called the Certificate of Incorporation, which was filed back in May of 2025, had a small administrative error. So, on the 25th of November, they filed a certificate of correction to fix that earlier filing. It is like noticing you made a typo on an important permission slip and sending in a corrected version. It corrects a previous filing that was made in error on May 9, 2025. This correction is important because it ensures that the company's foundational legal documents are accurate. They've included this corrected document, the Certificate of Correction, as Exhibit 3.1. And they're also including the updated bylaws, the amended and restated bylaws, as Exhibit 3.2. These are the actual documents that lay out the rules for how the company is run internally. This section just lists the documents they've attached to this report, essentially pointing us to those Exhibits 3.1 and 3.2 we just talked about, along with the interactive data file. And finally, the report is signed off by Deborah McCann, who is an Executive Vice President and the Chief Financial Officer. She's confirming on behalf of Unisys that everything in this report is true and accurate to the best of her knowledge. The date of this signature is the 28th of November 2025. So, what does this all mean for Unisys? Well, this isn't a report where we get to see if they made a lot of money or lost a lot. It is purely a procedural filing. They're essentially cleaning up their internal governance and correcting a past administrative mistake. The removal of the mandatory retirement age for officers suggests a move towards retaining experienced leadership, which can be a strength if those leaders are still effective, but a weakness if they are not. The correction of the Certificate of Incorporation shows a commitment to accurate legal documentation, which, while not exciting, is a sign of good corporate hygiene. Looking at Unisys, they operate in a very competitive e-services market. Companies like IBM, Accenture, and many others are all vying for the same clients. Unisys' strategy often revolves around specialized solutions, particularly in areas like cloud, digital workplace, and cybersecurity. This filing, however, doesn't give us a clear picture of their financial health or their competitive strategy in action. It is more about the behind, the scenes mechanics of how the company is structured and managed. In conclusion, this particular filing is less about a financial performance story and more about Unisys ensuring its foundational documents are in order and its leadership structure has flexibility. While there are no major financial revelations here, the adjustments to leadership terms and the correction of official documents point to a company focused on internal stability and compliance. It is a necessary part of corporate operations, even if it doesn't make for the most thrilling investment insight. Alright, that is our breakdown of Unisys' latest filing. What is your take on these administrative updates and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think removing mandatory retirement ages is a good move or a bad one? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.